Good morning, Covenant family. John here, and I'm taking advantage of some of our Inspire decorations that are still up at the church to record today's Covenant Sunday Short. Today at the church, we are celebrating our Inspire Makerspace Camp. This camp was led by 25 adult leaders alongside 25 youth leaders, and it hosted almost 80 kids. Together, we sang, danced, did science experiments, we made snacks, and we constructed some amazing elaborate origami frogs. We even worked together to write letters and create some amazing art for the residents of a local nursing home. But at the center of it was the opportunity to show and share the love of Jesus. This happened through how the kids and the parents were welcomed, through the lessons taught from the Bible, and through how we sought to interact with every person that was here in loving ways. It was truly a wonderful time. Well, most of the songs we sang with the kids were upbeat and just really energizing ones. I'm going to invite you to listen to one of the slower songs that we sang that not only aligned with one of our lessons, it reminded the kids that God cares for them and is always present with them. The recording you're going to hear was the band that played that night. We recorded it live during our final day's session. I hope you enjoy it.
In my mother's womb, formed me with your hands, known and loved by you. Before I took the breath, I doubted, Lord, remind me I'm wonderfully made. You're an artist and a potter, I'm the canvas and the clay. You make all things work together for my future, for my good. You make all things work together for your glory, for your name. There's a healing light. There's a healing light just beyond the clouds. Though I've walked through fire, I see clearly now. I know nothing has been wasted, no failure or mistake. You're an artist and a potter. I'm the canvas and the clay. You make all things work together for my future, for my good. You make all things work together for your glory and for your name. When I doubt it, Lord, remind me I'm wonderfully made. You're an artist and a potter, I'm the canvas and the clay. I know nothing has been wasted, no failure or mistake. You're an artist and a potter, I'm the canvas and the clay.
As our brief reflection this morning, I want to consider a text that's often read when we're talking about ministering to kids. A lot of you probably know the story. Jesus is out teaching, and some people decide to bring their kids to Jesus. And here's how Matthew's gospel describes the situation and what happens. Then people brought little children to Jesus for him to place his hands on them and pray for them. But the disciples rebuked them. Jesus said, Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these. When he had placed his hands on them, he went on from there. Without even getting into talking about the place children had in the culture of the day, one can understand why the disciples would want to protect Jesus from having to deal with these little urchins. Those of us who were at Inspire recognize that kids can be rambunctious and messy and loud and sometimes hard to deal with. And here Jesus is an important teacher. He's getting a reputation as a sought-after rabbi who had done wonderful, miraculous things. Surely he shouldn't be bothered by these attention-seeking kids and their parents. But Jesus quickly steps in when his closest followers get in the way of them coming to Jesus. Initially, he doesn't speak to the children. He speaks to his disciples. He says, Let the little children come to me. Do not hinder them. I think the reason he gives for them to come is really interesting. He says, For the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these. He doesn't say, Bring them to me so that they can get into the kingdom of heaven. They are welcomed because the kingdom of heaven belongs to ones just like them. We sometimes idealize our efforts at things like this Makerspace Camp as being about what we are inviting the kids into. And there is truth in that reality. But there's also the truth that Jesus sees his kingdom. He sees it already being in the hands of the innocent, the curious, the passionate, the dramatic, the excited, the vulnerable, the unabashed, the nervous, the hopeful, the all-in kids of the world. Even when they are rambunctious, messy, loud, and sometimes hard to deal with. There's something in them, in their way of being, that reflects and even holds some kind of possession of the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of God, this thing that Jesus came to initiate and bring into the world. And so while we seek to love and serve and teach these kids and their families, I pray we also remain wide open to learn from them, to join with Jesus, in recognizing where heaven meets earth in them. Maybe then we can also join in Jesus in doing what he does at the end of the exchange. We read, when he had placed his hands on them, he went on from there. He doesn't try to control them or coerce them or even teach them in direct ways. Placing his hands on them was an offering of a blessing, the thing that they were hoping to get from Jesus. He blesses them and then moves on to the next thing that he has. And they receive the blessing of Christ and continue on their journey too. I wonder what impact receiving that blessing from Jesus had on these kids. Did they remember it weeks, months, years later? Was it a story their parents told them? The truth is, we don't know the impact that taking a moment or a week might have in the lives of kids. But we don't need to necessarily know the impact to join Jesus in seeking to offer his blessing to them. We can serve them with love and trust God with the rest. At the end of the week of Inspire, we finished our time together by speaking a blessing over the kids. And now we trust God with their lives. We will walk alongside them as much as we are able. But they are God's beloved children who in some way embody the reality of the kingdom of God present in this world. We are grateful for the privilege of being able to witness the kingdom of God in them this week through our time together. Those of you who weren't here, I thank you so much for your prayer support, for your support in giving and contributing, and all the different ways that this church family came together to make this happen. We are extremely blessed for this opportunity, and we are trusting that God will take the blessing that we sought to extend and use it in ways beyond our imagination. As you go, may the Lord bless you. May the Lord help you to see His kingdom reality in the lives of those that are around you and close to you. And may He give you His peace as you move through the week to come. God bless. Go in peace.